Hello everyone, this is Sharul from the Web3 Passport, and today we have Sarah Woods with us. Sarah, you are one of the panelists with Irish Cultural Landscape today, and how did it go? Tell us about the panel conversation.
It was fantastic. It was actually my first panel that I've ever taken part in. So I have my little speaker thing here. I'm going to treat this like when I was younger and I went to a festival, save it. And yeah, it was just fantastic. It was really kind of a perfect example of how Web3 is. So I was up on the stage with two other artists and we had a fantastic moderator. And like in my head before I came, I was so nervous because it's the first panel that I've ever done. And then when we were up on stage, like thinking back, we were all like bouncing off each other, giving ideas, like literally coming up with ideas on the stage, which I didn't think we'd even go there in like topics and stuff. And I think if anything, that's kind of something that I want to get across about Web3. It is so inclusive, so like nearly family orientated. Like
Definitely.
People are so lovely. So yeah, it's been a great start to my panel talking career.
That's very nice to know. And as it was a panel for Irish cultural landscape.
Yeah.
So can you share some insights into what was the main vision and objective of the whole panel and some new insights that came out of the panel discussion?
Yeah. We kind of went off on loads of little tangents because there's so much to say. That's the thing when you come off stage, you're like, God, did I say that? Like there's just, this space is so exciting. But because it was like talking about infrastructure, we were really kind of very much focused on like, how do we, obviously we were all artists up on the stage, so we know what we're saying. And when you get into this space, there's so much to learn. And I think I'm even guilty of like falling into all the jargon that you do learn. So there was a big chunk of the talk where we were talking about like, how do we actually like onboard other people? And then as artists, we were kind of really hoping and giving ideas of how we get to collaborate with all the people that are going to be involved in Web3. So like I was saying, when I first heard of like NFTs and Web3, I was like, this is brilliant. Like my first vision was like the crypto wallet that we have is going to be like our new CV. So like when you're applying for jobs and stuff, and obviously the resume that we all pretty much have the same.
That's
it's
interesting.
so dull looking. And I was like, this CV is going to go like backwards, like Benjamin Button style, and it's going to look like a toddler's CV and everything's going to be bright. And I suppose it's good that I have this recorded, because I was like, I would love to like work with like LinkedIn Learning and like be able to give them art that houses kind of like the folder for someone who gets to show off all the skills that they have, that when they go to apply for jobs and new employers are, instead of looking at a dull Word document, they're on the blockchain and they see, and like maybe my work can tie into that. And then we went into loads of different areas, not just always talking about ourselves, but like also how we can like combine everything. We were talking about ticketing, that like maybe Ticketmaster releases tickets on the blockchain.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe I could be an artist that gets to collaborate, that the person has like a duality utility, that they go to the concert, that's their experience, that obviously removes from what you've gone to the concert and you've experienced it, and you still have art remaining in your crypto wallet that you get to own. And ownership as well kind of leads on very well to my next point. Ownership is a big thing for artists like me. That's a big kind of a big interest of why we're all kind of in this space. Even looking at like Web 2, if you share something, or if someone sees your work and they share it, they don't always tag you, whereas that's kind of removed with blockchain because it's just so evident of where the work came from and who owns it. And I love that aspect.
Certainly, absolutely. Yeah. And that's where the beauty of blockchain lies, that everything is traceable to where it originated from.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The ownership is preserved, the transparency is there. So Sarah, we would like to know more about on your involvement into, you know, as an artist. What kind of artist are you?
Yeah. So I love painting. I paint abstracts. If I was to describe everything, I'm very interested in abstracts, women, and words. So kind of like delve in between all of those. But I really saw Web3 and like blockchain and NFTs as like a chance to kind of reinvent yourself. or like do something new. So what I've done is I combine my in real life abstract paintings, and I love writing, but I never would have admitted that to myself years ago. So I have so much, like I love like kind of making my own little quotes and like stuff that I need for myself, or to help me like realize and learn. So I'm creating a collection called Sarah Words. So obviously my name's Sarah Woods, so it's nice and like on brand for me. And I'm really kind of focusing on that in Web3. So it's essentially taking my in real life work and creating something new with it as well, that it like you add an extra layer onto the painting that you've just created, and like creating a collection that will just live solely on the blockchain. And I also just love that, like, you know, when something new comes in loads of types of industries, or just in life, like some people just don't like change. But I don't see it as like a scary thing. I kind of saw Web3 as like just this amazing addition to blend in with what you're doing in real life. So when I sell, so the paintings that I have some small additions up on the blockchain. So the painting exists in the real world, and I sell additions on the blockchain. And in the metadata, I've written different types of utility. So I might give someone a discount code for my online shop. So then that will bring a Web3 person back onto my website. Or I might have in the metadata, okay, you buy this NFT, but you actually get a physical print as well. So the person gets like two for the price of one kind of thing. Yeah, so I like that kind of combination.
So are you currently using something similar? You are using, right?
Yeah, no, I am doing
That's
that. Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, I've done my own.
Yeah.
I've deployed my own smart contract.
Amazing.
So it's like a bit, safer for you.
Right, and where do you go for that? What platforms would you use?
So the reason I did the smart contract was that, actually, this is something that we said on the panel as well. A big selling point is like talking about decentralization, and you're basically like, we cut out the middleman. And then when like OpenSea messed with the royalties, I was like, oh, like there's still like a little sneaky middle hand coming in to like change things for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that was a good thing for me, because I started looking into Manifold, which is a studio that you can deploy your own smart contract. So I get to set the royalties, and some things I don't have even shown on OpenSea, although I know that they've reversed it now. But yeah, that was actually a really good thing, that it made you be like, okay, no, you really need to protect yourself. Like, there's a lot to learn in this space, I think.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so more coming from Web 2 to now working in Web 3, you're already using Web 3 and blockchain technology for advancing as an artist.
Yeah.
So how do you see as the impact being created in the current world, or how do you see the future to be like? So you're also active on Twitter, and you're connected with the NFT artists and other artists. So what have you seen so far? Has the change been made and the impact being created?
With like artists, or in other areas, do you think?
Web3 and NFTs for artists.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing to for actually, something that I haven't mentioned is the royalties. Like, that is just a massive thing that like I never thought an artist like me would ever even be like have royalties entertained.
Right, interesting.
That is a huge thing, which maybe we don't push more to like onboard more people. But yeah, it's changing so rapidly, and just going back to the collaborations, seeing people really want to help out one another. I like that aspect, and kind of allowing artists to hold more of the payment for themselves. Which Sarah Jane touched on. She's a DJ, so she releases music, and if she was with a record label, she might see a tiny little portion of it, but like when she sells something, she gets like, you know, almost the full amount. So that's like a massive change, because it might mean while I sit here and I have another job as well, like maybe in a few years when I'm selling more work and I get to retain most of the fee, I could like support myself and just be an artist. Like, that would be the dream.
Right, that's interesting. That's so fascinating. And me and everyone who is involved in the community in Web3 or for artists, we really want that it to materialize.
Yeah.
So we are talking here the potential of NFTs and the blockchain technology in Web3 for artists. It has to happen. It will change the whole framework. It will change the whole ecosystem, and everyone will have their own ownership. The rights and the royalties are fantastic for artists,
really
and they
are.
will have their own share of the efforts that they have
Yes,
put in their
exactly.
in their work.
What they deserve. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Great. And Sarah, what do you feel about the Ethereum Dublin conference? And are you planning to go to other speaker events today? Or?
I'm going to hang around for a while. Yeah. I'm so impressed so far, and just like the people are making it for me. Like everyone's so lovely. Like even this is the first time I'm doing something like this, and you've really put me at ease. And I'm just having such a fantastic time. Yeah, I will be back tomorrow, and Blockchain Ireland. It's a nice time. Blockchain Ireland is obviously next week. So yeah.
And one last question would be: are you planning to collaborate as well with other artists? And how are you keeping yourself up to speed with the NFT technologies and the platforms that exist there that can help with, launching an artist, or maybe provide another platform to scale up? Any thoughts on that?
I haven't planned on collaborating with anyone, but I definitely see it in the future. I'm testing out a good few platforms, if I'm being honest. Like I know I'm at ETH Dublin here, but I'm also on Object, which is like Tezos. Because also sometimes the reality of like the gas fees that you face, and like you're in a cost of living crisis, sometimes you just have to kind of like, I think it's a good thing to be on a lot of platforms. I see it like if I had my work in like Brown Thomas and Arnott's, like I want to diversify and reach more people, but like definitely open to collaborations. But I'm really focused on building my own like portfolio and my own following. With my own work for now.
Interesting. So if people who are listening to this conversation and they want to reach out to you, so how can they get in touch with you?
I'm on Linktree. That's probably the best. My website is sarahwoods.net.
Okay.
Everything's on there. And then my Linktree is like Sarah Woods Artist, and Instagram is sarahwoods_art. I feel like that's enough.
Yeah, lovely.
I'm everywhere.
Lovely, Sarah. Sarah, any last minute thoughts you would have, or a message for everyone in this latest technology in the Web3 space? Any last minute thoughts you would like to share?
Talking about this space and like people who aren't involved is just like, don't fear it. And it's so, just don't fear it, and like back yourself. Start reading up about it, and come to ETH Dublin the next time it's on, or if this is going out, come tomorrow. I think like setting fear aside and thinking that you can't be involved in something because art and a lot of creativity is at the forefront for now. But like I said, going back to like our crypto wallets could be our CVs, and that means that everybody is included. And like we're seeing it more and more with like Starbucks released NFTs, and there's going to be more utility, and like that's just, this time next year we'll be having a completely different conversation, I think.
Definitely.
So just get involved.
There is so much happening and so much development happening this year, and with Ethereum Dublin, Blockchain Ireland, the support to the startups, it's phenomenal. And Sarah, for an artist, what a day-to-day looks like?
Hectic. Like, and you have to like, I feel like I just have like so much to do, and even just particularly in Web 2, like I feel like I'm just constantly chasing an algorithm.
All right. It's good it's great that you mentioned that.
I'm and I find it
constantly
difficult.
Trying to prove yourself, constantly trying to change the subscribers.
Chasing likes. Oh my God, like my work. And like, so that's a bit of a hustle in itself, but I do find it tough to like give out about that as well, because at the end of the day you're on a free platform, but it just changes so much. And I think it's just kind of thinking of my own like way of being in Web 2. I feel like the reward is like having loads of followers and having loads of likes, but like they don't pay my bills, and then I lose my authenticity of my work. And I see, oh, that reel worked for someone now, I'm going to do that. And like, we're all looking at the same things just to get noticed. So Web3 for me, particularly with like sharing quotes and stuff, that's very new for me, and I feel like I'm a bit more authentic there, and that's a good
Right.
feeling as an artist, you
It's
know.
a great feeling to
Yeah.
be authentic, to be
Yeah.
able to express yourself
Yes.
in the world, in the community as well. Like you've just mentioned in the panel, while you were talking about the Irish cultural infrastructure, you were also brainstorming, you were
Yeah.
exploring and came
Yeah.
up with different solutions.
Yeah.
That what if this, what if that?
Yeah.
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 Great.
I think that's brilliant. Yeah.
Lovely. Sarah, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. It's
No
a
problem.
wonderful conversation.
Yeah, I loved
And,
it.
Yeah, and it will help people understand the kind of impact that Web3 and blockchain can create for artists and the potential of NFTs as well for the artists. Great. Thank you
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
here.